Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, so till last session, we have seen how we can use the fundamental data types. And fundamental data types are immutable, and we cannot modify the values of the fundamental data types. And that we came across it. And especially, we spent some time with the string operations. The string operations we can do with the help of string functions. We have seen few string functions. And out of all the string functions, we are having a few important functions like we have a split function. If you wanted to split the data, we can use it. And starts with is there, ends with is there. And we have seen even to find the position of a character, we also used, and replace is also important. So few functions I noted, we just go through them and regularly, because if you leave it for 1 month, definitely there is a more and more chances to lose the function name and syntax. Even me also, if I don't touch for a couple of months, then there are more chances to forget. Okay, so we need to be up to just at least we have to go through that at least weekly once or weekly once or monthly twice or something like that. If you can go through that, it will be a good practice. Okay, so that is about the fundamental data types. And from today, we are going to see the advanced data types. So we'll try to finish in couple of hours as much as possible, because there are other activities also there. So by mid of next week, I wanted to start I wanted to start Databricks. That means, so PySpark, we're going to start talking about it. So for that, we need to complete as much as possible. So collections, we can call them, or we can also call them as the advanced data types or collection data types, whatever it is. So all collections, we can also call it as a containers, or we can say buckets. So that means we can have a multiple items. If you take an integer data type, you can keep only one value at one shot. If you have a string, you can keep only one value at one shot. If I have a rows, let's say for example, if you have a employee number, employee name, and job, salary, and hire date, if you have, then how can you store this data? If you wanted to store this data 101, a Bhaskar, Azure Data Engineer, 25,000, joined at 01/01/2025, if you have, then how can you store this entire value? You have to store this entire thing, right? So in this particular row, you're having all varieties of the data. That means you have a number. This is a number, and this part is a text part, and again this is a money, or let's say a float. Okay, and this one is a date. So that means we have a varieties of the data types in a single place. And we have come across to store these numbers in Python, we used integer data type. To store this text, we have used str data type. And to store the salaries, we have a float data type. Or to store the date, we have a date. So different date data type is not available directly. So we'll see that how exactly we can store it. So my intention is I have a multiple date values here. It's not a single value. So if you want to store this in Python or in PySpark, then we are going to use collection data types. So it is going to support multiple values. You can keep multiple values in the same place itself. Okay, so in order to have multiple values, or in order to store varieties of the data, we have a list data type, tuple data type, set data type, and dictionary data type. So these four are collection data types. And how we are going to do in the list, or how we are going to do in the set and dicts I have given. And if I wanted to replace value, how we can replace it, because it is a bucket, right? So in the bucket, we can keep all of them. We can keep 101, we can keep a name. So if you wanted to replace it, how we can replace, or if you wanted to add anything to the container or collection, then how you're going to add or remove. So DML operation, how we can do that, we are going to see in all the places. When you go for list, list is a mutable. List is a mutable. So mutable means we can change the values. Mutable means we can change the values. So list, we can do it, and replacements, that is a modification. We can add a new value, we can remove a value. So when you go for set, set is again mutable, and we can also add and we can also remove, but we cannot modify. And dict is there. So dictionary, dict means it is a dictionary. So dictionary can add the value, can replace the value. And let's talk about a little more in detail about a list. So list is one of the most used data type in Python, and it is very flexible. Without a list, we cannot do many activities in the PySpark. We are going to come across this many times. And list is an advanced data type where we can store multiple values. As I said, a list is going to be enclosed within this braces I have given here. And I can say 10, 10.5. I can say a Bhaskar. I can say true. And I can say, let's say 20, something like this. Okay, so I can have this kind of data within the list. Each value inside the list is called an item. So whatever is there inside this is an item, this is an item, this is an item, this is an item. Everything is an item. Even when we come across the for each container or for each activity, we have seen the items, current item dot name, right? So whatever is there inside the list, that will be treated as an item. And a list can have from 0 items to multiple items. A list can have a 0 items, means empty list. It is an empty list. Okay. And this is a list value. So we have a list, I mean values are there. It's not an empty list. So a list can have a 0 items, a list can have a multiple items. And declaring a list and items will be separated by commas are enclosed within the square brackets. Okay, so when you see these points, you can understand after my explanation. All the items in a list do not need to be the same data types. That means we don't need to have everything a single data type like 10, 20, 30, 40. This is having all our integers. It's not like an integer. You can keep an integers. You can have a different data types also. It allows to keep a same data types, and it allows to keep a different data types values also. And list is an ordered sequence of items. That means whatever the order you entered, the same order it is going to be there. The order is not going to be changed. Order is not going to be changed. The order will be preserved. And list is an ordered sequence of item. And items can be duplicated. We can have a duplicated. If we see here, I just kept the duplicated item here. So these points, you can just go through that and you can identify, or you can easily understand what it is. So empty list, how we can declare, we already seen. So empty list means it is a 0 items, no items in the list. We are going to declare, if we keep, let's say a equals to, if we keep, then it is an empty list. And you can also keep, you can also declare the variable like list of, this also is going to be empty list only. So empty list will be declared in these two approaches. Either you can go with this one or you can go with this one. And there are more chances to use either one of them to declare the list when we deal with the RDDs. Let me talk about the first example here. Okay, so I'm just trying to avoid typing this because it takes longer time because we're not going to work as a completely Python developer. So I'm just taking my existing node itself. Okay. So I'm declaring a list here. A list is having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I wanted to see what values are there in the list, and I wanted to see the type of list and address of the list. To get the address of the list, then we are going to use the any variable. If you wanted to get, I mean, wanted to see what is the address of the variable, then we are going to use the function called id function. Okay, so list values will be printed. It's a variable only. And type of list, type of LST, that what type of variable it is going to show you. So that we already seen. Let me execute it. You can see here. So it is printing the value of whatever the values are there in the list, and the type of variable is having a list data type, and the address of this is having some address. So here I have a unified data types. All are integers only. But now I'm just going to show you here with the different data types. You can see I'm just declaring a list 10, 10.5, Bhaskar, untrue. So varieties of the data I'm having, but still it is going to list data type only. It is going to still having a list data type. Now just observe, I wanted to say print of LST and type of LST here. Then you can see. So it is printed the list of values, and the type of variable is list data type. The print of LST is a list type. Now, how we can extract the values from the list? How we can extract the data from a string we have seen. And how you can extract the data from the list I wanted to show you. Extract from a list. So here also we are going to use the indexing. Here also in the list also we are going to have an indexing. Here also we have an indexing, and slicing. Here also we have a slicing, and here also we have a slicing. So if you know operations on the string, then you can easily understand the operations on the list also. Okay, so indexing with the list. Now I wanted to get like if you see the first value is going to be a 0, and this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. Now if I say LST of 0, then it is going to give a 10. And LST of 2, what is the value LST of 2? What is the value? Bhaskar. So Bhaskar is going to get it. So because it is going to get based on the indexing. Now just execute and see the result. You can see. Okay. And if you want to declare the a list inside a list, this is also is very, very important for us. Declaring a list inside a list is very, very important. Okay, so because while reading the data from the file system, there are chances to have a list inside list, nested list. A list inside a list is known as a nested list. Now I'm just specifying a list equal to 10, 20, and third I'm just giving again one more list. So I'm just keeping a list inside a list. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so if I wanted to get this part, then it is a 0. It is a 1. This entire thing is a 3. Okay. And so here I'm just trying to say what type of data you're having it. So I'm not extracting the data from the nested list. So if you wanted to extract the data from the nested list, how you can extract it, I'm just explaining here. So what is the value that you're going to get if you go for print of LST of 0? So 0, what is the value here? You're having a 0. The output you're going to get here. The output you're going to get here 10. And what is the value of this? LST of 2. This is not 3, it is 2. So what is the value of 2 here?
24.
Is not a 20. The second position. LST of 2 is what?
Okay. One, sir. One.
No. LST of 0
Zero is a
is 10.
10. Yes, sir.
LST of 1
30.
is 20.
1.
LST of 2 is
30, 40, 50.
yeah, exactly. 30 comma 40 comma
Okay,
50.
Okay.
Okay. Now I don't need to go for the entire one. I wanted to get only this part only. Okay, so here we can say it is a 0. Here we can say it is a 1. Here we can say it is a 2. So to get this part, what you have to do is, how we are going to write the expression is LST of 2. To get this entire part, we have to first go to the 2. Inside this second position, I wanted to get the first position. Then you have to say a 0 like this. You're getting my point, right? So the output of this LST of 2 and 0 is going to get 30. Any doubt here?
Yes, it's like class inside class.
Exactly.
Nesting.
Exactly. Okay, so you need to know about it, especially when we are going to talk about RDD, resilient distributed data set, when you're dealing with the unstructured data. So this is going to be helpful. And not only this, when we are going for metadata driven notebooks, then definitely we need to know about RDDs. When you go for RDD, then there is a more and more chances to go with the indexing only. RDD works with indexing only.
Sir, what is the means of RDD, sir? Resilient means what? Where we can.
We'll see that. We'll see. We at the time of PySpark, we are going to talk about it. Okay. So I'm just giving a heads up. This RDD works in the similar kind of approach. So because of that reason, basically, when you go for PySpark, they used to ask, do you have a experience with Python, or at least do you have a basic knowledge is required for Python? I mean, Python basic knowledge is required for PySpark. Because if you don't know this, if you don't know how we can extract the list of items, then you cannot work, because there will be a list. We'll see at the time of RDD what is the RDD and how we can understand or how we can do it. We are going to talk about it. And then slicing, that is indexing, we have seen. Indexing we have seen. Okay, so indexing we have come across the text also. Now it is a slicing. Slicing means you are trying to take multiple values, not a single value. Okay, so if you want to take a multiple values, then definitely we have to go for slicing. I have given a list here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, all integers. I have a all integers. Now when I say 1, 5, what is the value you are going to get? 10, let's say something like this. 10, sorry, again it went. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Okay, so try to understand this. This is going to be what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so negative index is going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Is everyone with me? So this is a negative index and this is a positive index. Okay, so now I'm asking, what is the value you're going to get from 1 to 5? So slicing means the starting, you're going to have something like this. Start index, you're going to have start index, colon, end index. Okay, so something like this you have to specify, and the list variable, whatever it is. So here I'm just trying to say 1 to 1:5. Your starting is 1. 1 is this one, right? So from 20, you have to get up to 5. So you're giving upper bound is 5. So this upper bound always is going to be -1. So -1 means 4. Up to 4, you're going to get the values. So the output of this, you're going to get 20, 30, 40, and 50. And print LST of -7 to 4. -7 to 4. So this is the one. From here, it has to go for that. -7 to 4. So what value it is going to get? We'll see that. Okay. So -7 is going to be started from here, and up to 4 it is going to take it. Let's see. Let's execute it and see the result. So you're getting 20, 30, 40, 50 for the first one, and the second one -7 means it is going to get the 20. Up to 4 it is going to take it. So 4 minus 1. So this is the one, right? So up to 4 means it is going to take up to here. Okay, so it is going to reduce one more index position. So 4 minus 1 it is going to take, so the 3 positions will take here. So you're getting 20, 30, and 40. Okay, so this is about how we can slice the data if you wanted to slice it. And if you wanted to get the reverse numbers, I wanted to say it is in a reverse order, I wanted to get it. To get in a reverse order, I'm just going to give here print of LST of colon -1. Now close this and execute again. Now you can see here. Colon -1. Now you can see the reverse order. So it is having a this order, and now I'm just making it in a reverse order. So there is a chances to ask in the interview. They will give a list. I wanted to see the list of values in a reverse order. How can you do it? They may ask you. We don't need to write too many lines of the code. We can just say colon -1 is going to give the numbers or items in a reverse order. A list concatenation. So how we can add a list, or how we can, yeah.
Sir, what is the any explanation behind that colon -1? How come it is making reverse? Or we remember?
I'm not exactly sure about the internals basically, but basically you can write a program for that if you wanted to do it, like, you have to take the position. So if you want to see or what I can say, so maybe what they have written for that particular behind code, when you know the loops, then you can handle it. You have to take the first item. Okay, you have to take something like a different way, -1. So -1 means 80 will come, right? Okay, so how it will be there is, I'm not sure the code, how they have written, but I'll just try to give an idea. We need to write some code here. Okay, so I don't want to waste the time. Basically, instead of writing that much code, we can directly go for this operation. Okay, so the same thing, once you have completed loops completion, then you can also try, but I'll try to give a code for that. Okay, so maybe they have written already. So inbuilt code may be there. So we are going to use this kind of approach. This is the syntax. So every time it is going to take the value from the negative indexing, because we have it, this is -1, -2, -3, something like that, right? So it is going to take in a reverse order. So because of that reason, we are going to get a reverse value. Okay, so in the same way, we have to take it. First, we need to take the value and we need to add 1 for this. So then it is going to get a -2. So then -2 position, we have to take it. So something like this, we have to write it. I'll give a context. Like first you are taking, I'm just keeping -1 here. Okay, so I wanted to see a list of -1. What is the value is there? List of P, I'm just giving it. You're having a 80. But this entire thing has to go for loop. Okay, so for not I can say there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, 9. I need to repeat that many number of items. Where is that? List. So list is having 8 items. So I wanted to iterate one by one for I in LST colon print of I. That is fine. I wanted to say is having 1. Let me take it from the 0. This is 8. Now 10 to 10 to 8 it is displaying. So in reverse order, we have to take it.
Sir, yeah, maybe
You understand, right? So we have to write some code to do it. So it takes some time to fix that, but definitely we can do it. So the same logic they have applied behind the scene.
Sir, we can do one thing. For example, if the length we can find out.
Length also we can take it.
Yeah,
Length of list we can take it.
And in for loop, the length should be the first parameter we can keep, and 0 will be the last parameter. From using that, we can find the list of length, means if it is coming 8, then first value will be printed. Then in the next one, the I value will be 7. So seventh value will be, I think,
Yes.
in this
Yeah,
way.
in that way it will work. It will work. We can do it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
You can try from your side.
Yeah.
Okay, so then next is list concatenation. And before that, let's say the string concatenation. If you wanted to concatenate two strings, then we can use the plus as a concatenate operator. You are going to get Python 10, the output of this. In the same way, list concatenation, we are going to use, like if we use the same plus between the two lists, then it is a list concatenator. Okay, so okay. But if we use in between the two strings, then it is a string concatenate operator. So that is what I'm saying here. List concatenate operator is a plus symbol. So I have a list 1 and list 2, and list 1 plus list 2. If you have it, then it is going to get these two lists will be concatenated. Let's execute it and see the result. 1, 2, 3 is one list, and 4, 5 is another list. So in the same way, have one more list here. List 1. So list 1 is having 1, 2, 3, and list 2 is having A, B, C, 4, 5. And list 1 plus list 2. You're going to get 1, 2, 3, A, B, 4, and 5. And list 1 plus list 1, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this result you're going to get for this one. You can see. And there is a multiply also. So 3 times it is going to be concatenated. Okay, so the same text will be, and equivalent to this I have given here 3 times Python plus Python plus Python 3 times. So if you wanted to repeat the number of times of that particular text, then you can use *3. Okay, so 3 times it is going to print, and this one is going to print 1, 2 is 1 time, and one more time. So 3 times it is going to print here. It is going to be concatenated. You can say Python, 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 and let's execute this. Now you can say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 3 times it is concatenated. So it's a concatenate operation only, even if you go with the star number of times. So as I said, lists are immutable. So what does it mean? We can change the values. We can change the values, and we can see the address of that particular variable's address will be same even if you add anything or if you change any value within the list. So s equal to Bhaskar here, it is a string. And if I wanted to get s of 2, what is the value you're going to get? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 means A. A is going to get it, right? So the output is A here. So I wanted to replace this A with et. I wanted to replace A with et. To replace A with et, then we can take the position first, s of 2. This is there in the s of 2. Then you can give the value what you wanted to keep it. So I wanted to replace with et. That is what I'm just saying here. Replace A with et, and we cannot update a value in a string. So I'm just going to replace it. We'll see what happens. This is my requirement actually. My requirement is to replace A with et. So is that possible or not? We'll see. Let's execute this one. It's not going to be possible is because this is a string data type. So strings are immutable. Strings are immutable. You cannot modify things. But if we have a same thing in a list, then we can modify it. If you have a list, then you can modify it. Okay, so now I wanted to take a list. We'll see the same kind of changes. We'll try to do the changes in the list, and will it allow or not? We'll see now. So now I have a list here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And print of 2, I'm just going to take, when I say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I use this print statement, you're going to get a 2, that is a 30. And the ID of this list, some address is going to get it. So just observe, I'm just going to execute this and show the result. You can see 30 is there and address is this one. And I wanted to replace this 30 with 300. So 30 with 300, I wanted to replace it. So where is this 30? This 30 is available in the second indexing position. So you have to say list of 2. Then you can assign a value. Before assigning a value, there is a address. This address is also going to be same when you print this one. So within the same variable, it is going to modify it. Now you can see. So there is a 1712 is the last 4 digits, and here also we have a 1712, 1712 and 1712. And if you see the print of LST of 2, we are having a 300. Previously it was 30. Now it is a 300. That means we can modify the list. So list is mutable. So mutable means changeable. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir. List 2 value is modified, right? Now print
Yes.
list once, only list all data. And okay.
Okay. You're having 300 now. Previously it was 30. Okay. So the next is list methods. There are list methods also is there. So few list methods are important for us, especially append is there. When we go for multiple items to or read one by one, then there is a more chances to use the append function. So list methods, how can we add it? If I wanted to add anything to the list, I have a list. I wanted to add the items to the list. So if you wanted to add the items to the list, then we can use or we can say it is a addition. In order to add items to the list, we can use the append function to add it. We can use the extend function to add it. And we can also use the insert function to add it. So 3 functions are there: append, extend, insert to add. And to remove, we have a remove function and pop function. We're going to have it. So let's talk about first addition functions. So there is a first function that we're going to see is list.append function. It is used to add one item at the end of the list. So I have a list here. Just observe. What happens if you go for this one is, I have a list 10, 20, 30. Okay, so if I wanted to add a new item, then you can use append function. So append is used to add a new item at the end of the list. So let's say I wanted to add a 40 here. So if you want to add a 40, what happens is you're going to use this entire thing is there in the list equals to. So we are going to say this is a list function list.append. List.append. So inside the append, we are going to say 40, whatever the value you wanted to add it. So this 40 is going to add at the end of the list. At the end of the list, it is going to add it. So this function we are going to use frequently when there is any use cases. Definitely you can feel that how we can iterate the loop of items and how we can add that we are going to use, especially when we go for loop, there is a chances to use this append function. So append is used to add a new item to the list. So where exactly it is going to add is at the end of the list. Okay, so that is one thing. And I wanted to add a float value. So to add a float value, let's say I'm just taking a list dot append of 10.5. So where it is going to add after 40, it is going to add. After 40, it is going to add. So here it is going to say 10.5. Okay. And if I execute this one, append dot true, I can also add a true. The true also is going to add at the end because it is going to add to the new list because list already modified. List is already added 40. When you execute this, 40 will be added, and when you execute this, 10.5 will be added to the list. And when you execute this, then true will be added to the list. Okay, so that is how it is going to be there. And there is a one more thing, that is a list itself we are trying to add. Oh, no, this is different. So up to here, this example. So it is going to close this. Okay, so at the end, it is going to add it. So just observe one by one statement I'm just trying to execute. So first I'm adding a 40 to the existed list. Now 10, 20, 30, 40 is added. Now once I execute this 10.5, when I add this 10.5, then 10.5 you're going to get into the list. You can see at the end, this 10.5 is added. Now when I execute this here, then you can see the true is added at the end of the list. Okay, so append is used to add an item at the end of the list. If I wanted to add a list inside a list, so how this value is going to get is, first list equals to, we are having 10, 20, 30, right? This is the one. Now you're trying to add a list where it is going to add 10, 20, 30, this 40, 50 is going to add. This entire thing is a list. Okay, so we are already having a 0, 1, and 2. In the third position, this entire thing is going to be added. This entire thing is a 3. So that is what it is going to get. Just observe and execute this. We can see 40, 50 is added here.
Sir,
Hmm?
will append but will not give any value. Will that be treated as a null, or it will not create any new index inside the list?
How can you give null?
Will not give anything.
Let me check. Definitely have to pass the item, because that is the syntax, if I'm correct. Yeah, you have to give a item. Without item, you cannot pass it.
Okay, sir. Then next question: if we'll delete an item from the list,
Mhm.
so that index
We'll
will
see.
be completely going, or it will
We'll
be...
see. We'll see that. We'll see. Let's finish this insert, then we'll go for remove. Now we have seen the append function to add item to the list. Now we are going to say one more function to add an item to the list, that is extend. So append also uses to add, and extend also is going to add it. Both are going to add, but how this is going to add, you can see. It is used to add multiple items to a list. If you want to add a multiple items, then you can use this. And it adds each item individually at the end of the end. So let's say, for example, you're having a list here, 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, and 30 is there. And I'm just trying to add this multiple items to the list. Okay, so it is going to, when I give this one a single item at the end of the list, it is going to add. Let me see what output you are going to get here. When you go for append, it is going to take as a single item, right? 40, 50, and 60. The index position will be like 0, 1, 2, and 3. If you go for append. If you do the same thing in with extend, what happens is it is going to separate the values. It adds individual items to the list. So that means how this output is going to get when you go for this is, it is going to have a 10, 20, 30 is the original list. And whatever you are adding, 40, 50, 60, that is going to get something like 40, 50, and 60. So positions is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here is position is different, here is position is different. So that difference you can feel, but both will be used to append the values. So extend is going to do something like this. let me show you here. I have a two lists here. The first list, how exactly it is going to print when I add 40, 50, 60 by using append. The same list I have declared with a different variable, and I'm trying to do the same operation here. Let's execute it and see the result. The first one is equivalent to this one. Whatever the result we are having here, this entire thing is a list, right? So this part is same, and this part is this one. So extend also is going to add, but extend is going to add as an individual items when you add multiple items. Okay, so then third function we are having insert. Insert is also going to insert it. It is used to insert an item in the specific index position. So I have a 10, 20, not 20, let me take a same list here, 10, 30, 40, and 60. Okay, so when you print it, you are going to print all these values, and I'm just trying to insert a value here. Okay, so this is what is the index position here. This is a 0, this is a 1 and 2 and 3. This is the index position. Now I'm just trying to insert a 20 at the index position 1. I wanted to add because insert is going to insert the number or insert an item in a specific position. You can specify the position. But when we use the append function, is that possible to specify the position? No, because it is going
At
to
the end.
add at the end. But if my requirement demands to add any item in a specific position, then we need to go for insert function. So insert position is asking index number and item. The syntax I have given here. The syntax I have given. So index number is 1 here. Index number I have given 1, and I'm just trying to pass 20 here. So what happens is it is going to add, you have a 10 and you are adding 20 right in the second in the 1 position. So 20 will come automatically. This numbers will be moved to the next position. So that means 30, 40 and 60. So indexing is going to get 0 here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So position also is going to be changed because you are moving the item to the next positions. And now this is the output when you execute this print statement. This print statement is going to get this output. And now again, I'm just trying to add 50 at the 4th position. At 4th position, I'm trying to add it. So what happens? You're going to get 10, 20, 30, 40. In the 4th position, I'm trying to add this 50. So 50 will come, and again, this is going to move to the next position. So indexing, you're going to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is how this insert function is going to work. Now, if you execute this statement and see the result, you're going to get the same to same. You can see first print is having 10, 30, 40, 60, 10, 30, 40, 60. That is original list. And once you add 20, then you can see here it is having 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. And 50 also is added. So whatever the position you wanted to take to add, you can add in a specific position with the help of insert function. Is everyone clear with insert?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Using append, we are inserting at the end.
Yes.
Okay, and using extend also, we are adding an element at the end of the list.
Yes.
So, is there any way, and that means we'll extend at the end, but we'll add composite value using extend function? Is like in using append. In a single index, you have inserted 10, 20, 30, for example. The same thing can we do using extend, but will not touch extend. Generally, what might be doing?
No, that's not possible because with insert, you can insert one item at one shot.
Sorry, I was referring append. Sorry. I was
Append,
just
append,
comparing append and extend.
append and extend. That's we have done it, right? Like what I can say in this example, to see the difference here, you can feel that. So same 40, 50, 60, I'm just adding with appending. Okay. So here, when you add it, it is going to take this entire thing as a single item. When you use the extend, you're going to have a separate items. The output of this is going to get 10, 20, 30, and 40, 50, and 60, something like this. Do you want to get the output like this? Then go with the append. Or if you want to get the output something like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60, then you can go for extend. You're separating the items. You're getting my point, right?
Yes, sir. This I understood. Maybe I was trying.
Depends on your, see, how you're going to add is not a matter, but how you wanted to see the result. If you want to see the result like this, then you have to go for append only as a single item. If you want to add a list as a single item to the existed list, go with the append. If you want to extend them and add the items to the list, then you can go for extend function.
Yeah, I wanted to extend, but I wanted to keep the value 40, 50, 60 in only one extended index.
No. What output you wanted to see first? Tell me.
I just wanted to see 10, 20, 30 and in the bracket 40, 50, 60. But I want to use extend.
No. That's not possible. That's what I'm saying.
Or
Extend,
using both extend and
no.
not possible.
Not possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so purpose of the function, you have to take it. If you want to do like that, then you have to write your custom function. If these functions are not suitable for your requirement, if these functions are not capable enough to, sorry, somewhere it is clicked. Okay, so if you feel these functions are not suitable for your requirement, then simply you have to write your function. You have to write your custom function as per your requirement. So that feasibility we have it. But we are just trying to use the built-in functions, how the built-in functions are behaving. Clear?
Okay, sir, I understood. Maybe because of some other languages function are coming to my mind.
Yeah.
That's why I'm disturbing.
Yeah. So we can do it. Everything is possible with Python. Only thing is we have to write our own functions also. So we are going to see how we can write our own functions also in the upcoming sessions. Now we have seen how we can add it. How we can add it, we have seen. But now I wanted to show you how we can remove it. How we can remove the items. So when you remove it, you can remove list.remove. It is used to remove an item based on value. So I wanted to remove the 50 or I wanted to remove the 60. Okay, so you can specify the value. If you want to remove the value, I mean, we can remove an item based on the value of item. Right? So I'm just specifying here list. I'm just specifying the list here. The list is 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 10. So this is the list I'm having it. Now when I print it, all this is going to get it. When you print it, the value is going to get. Now I'm trying to remove 30. So wherever there is a 30, it is going to remove it. Now what happens? This is going to be removed. So you're going to get the output of this is going to get 10, 20, 40, 10. You're going to get if you execute this print statement. And I'm just removing this 10. I'm just trying to remove 10. So when you go for this, it is going to remove only one value. Okay, so this is going to be removed. we are going to have a 20, 40, 50, 40, 10. So let's see how exactly it is going to be there. You can see it. So one time only it is going to remove the value. Okay, so first it is printed this one. Print statement is going to print the value. And then I removed it I removed 30, then 30 was removed, and you cannot see 30 in this list. And then I'm trying to remove the 10. So 10 is removed, this 10 is removed, but another 10 is still available. Okay, so that is one point you have to keep in mind. So based on the value, we can remove, based on value, we can remove item from the list. And there is a one more function to remove.
Sir, will it remove from the left side only?
Wherever it is.
No, because in case of 10,
Yeah. That is true. Like basically it finds a value, right? Once it is found, then it is going to remove that value only. It is not going to remove, basically, see, it will search from the left to right only. Okay. So if 10 is found, then it removes, and it will never think about rest of the things, even if there is a 10.
Yeah, after getting the first occurrence.
Yes. Only first occurrence only is going to be removed, in other words. So that is one thing. And the pop also will be used to remove an item from the list. But this is going to be removed based on the index number. Okay, so now I have a 10. This is having, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Okay, so when I say pop 1, it went wrong. Let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, 60. So I'm having a list. I'm just trying to say pop of 1. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0 means 10 and 1 is going to be removed. So what happens is it is going to remove the 20 from the item. So the output of this, you're going to get 10, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So that is how it is going to be removed. Just execute this one. Now you can see. So depends on the index position, we can remove it. So 20 is not available here. And we have another option to remove an item. There is a delete keyword is there to remove it. It is used to remove the entire object. I have a list here. When you print it, it is going to have a list. And when you use the delete, you can use the delete function or delete keyword. I can say this delete keyword, you can pass the index position to remove it. So it is going to remove the first item. And if you want to remove the entire object, you can just remove by passing the item. I mean, by passing the list. You don't need to specify any item. So it is going to remove entire thing. Just execute up to here and see the result. You're having, you have removed 1. That means 20 is removed, 20 is not available here. But if you use the delete, entire object is going to be removed. List itself is not available. If you try to print the list, you are going to get an error because list itself is removed. So variable you can remove, entire variable you can remove by using the del. Even this is applicable for others also. I mean fundamental data types also. Now I have a list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just saying the starting index I'm not specifying here. Then 2. Starting 0 is going to take it. So I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So 0 is going to be starting index 1. And then up to 2 means 2 minus 1 is 1. Up to 1 it is going to get. So 1, 2 is the output for this. 1, 2 is going to be deleted when you use the delete. And rest of the values will be available. You can see. So 1, 2 is removed and rest of the values are available. So by using del also we can delete a specific range of the values also we can delete by using the slicing operator. And clear is going to clear all the items from the list. I have a list 10, 20, 30. And when I clear this, the list will be cleared, but empty list will be available. Your list is going to be available. List is not going to be removed. So if you use the del LST, then list itself is going to be removed completely. But here it is just going to clear the list, but list is going to be available. Just observe and see the result. So 10, 20, 30 was cleared and it is having an empty list. If you want to know how many items are there in the list, then you can use the function called list.count function. List.count function gives number of items in a list. So I'm just specifying a list here. Just try here. How many items are there in this list? Can anyone give answer? So to get the number of items in a list, we are going to use the
11.
length function.
11.
Okay, so 11 is going to get if you use the length. But this is not a length, it is a count. So count is going to give a number of occurrences. How many number of times it is available inside the list, it is going to give. So 1 is available here, 2, 3, and 3 times it is going to be giving. So output is 3 for this. So if you want to see the length of list, then you have to go for number of items is going to get with the help of length function. But count is going to give how many times that count is available. 1 is available. 3 times it is available.
In this, we have 10 functions, 10 items only, right? Not 11, right? That entire last 1, 2, 3 will
Yeah,
count.
this is 1 only.
Uh,
Yes, 10 only, not 11. I did not count it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Yes. Then I have a reverse function to reverse the list. To reverse the list, I have a reverse function. So it is used to reverse the values. Okay, so 10, 20, 30 is there in the list. 10, 20, and 30. And you are trying to reverse it. So when you reverse it, it is going to get 30, 20, and 10. So reverse function. So in the interview, I faced this question. They have given a list and they asked me to write a code to reverse these values. So when I say list.reverse function, they told without reverse function, how can you do it? So without reverse function, we already seen, right? Colon, -1. That is 1. And other is we can write a code. Okay, so by writing a loops also, we can handle it. Let's execute it and see the result. And the same thing here. So I have this is going to be 0. I mean, first item, and this is second item, and this is the third item, something like this. It is going to be reversed when you use the reverse function. You can see. Okay, and we have a sort function to sort the list. I have a list here 10, 20, 40. Let's say 40, 10, 60, 20, and 30. This is a list. So I wanted to sort it. So when you don't specify any order, by default, it is going to take a ascending order. So then it is going to give 10, 20, 30. Next is what? 40 and 60. Okay, so just observe. Now we have a option here. Okay, so same to same, it is in ascending order. If you want to go for reverse order, you can also use the reverse function as well as you can also use sort operation also. So to go for reverse order, you have to specify reverse equals to true, or you can use the reverse function directly. So this is going to give a descending order. Basically, reverse function, what happens when you use the reverse function is the items will be in a reverse order, it is going to show you, but they're not going to be ordered. So you have to use the sort function. Inside sort, you have to say reverse is true to go for descending order. That means here I have a sort. Okay, so if I wanted to use the same thing in a reverse order, we can say list dot reverse. This also is going to get the same result, printf lst. That is what it is giving, same result, right? Okay, so after sorting, I'm applying a reverse. So here I'm just what I'm trying to do here. Here also the same thing. After sorting, you are reversing it to get the descending order. So we can get the ascending order without specifying anything. And if you wanted to get the descending order, then you have to specify reverse is true. Okay, so there is a list dot sort and sorted of list. List dot sort, that means variable dot sort is a function. Function or method, right? And this is a function. This is a method, variable dot function name is a method, and this is a function. That's fine, whatever it is. So list dot sort, I'm taking here difference. So 40, 10, 60, 20, and 30. So that is there inside the list. And I'm just trying to sort it. So sort means ascending order, it is going to show you. The result will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 60. So this is a sorted list. Okay, so let's observe and print the result. You can see the same thing. Now I'm just trying to show here with sort of list or sorted list. Okay, so sorted list, what happens, we'll see. So I'm just taking same value and I'm printing before sorted. The list is going to get the list of values. And while sorting, I wanted to say sorted of list. Just observe, I'm not sure. Before sorted, this is the original list. Same to same. And while sorting, it is taking 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. While sorting, it is going to be there. But after completion of sorting, the number is, again, it is there in the same position only. After sorted. So that means the values are not completely modified the values. So this is going to give in the output only. The result of this, you're just printing it. You're not modifying it. You're getting my point. If I say list of sort, the data is modified. Okay, so let me reiterate it. I have a list. What is the value here? I'm having 40, 10, 60, 20, and 30. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to say lst dot sort. What is the output you are going to get for this one? You're going to get the output is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 60. So this is modified. The list is modified. The original state of this is sorted and stored inside that because we are saying list dot sort. Now when I use this sorted of list, okay, so when I use the same exercise, if I take here list, again I'm taking list equal to 40, 10, 60, 20, and 30. Now what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to say sorted. of LST. The output will be same you are going to get 10, 20, 30, 40 and 60. But the original list is not going to modify it. Only while executing it is going to get it. Okay, so if you want to preserve this result, then you have to keep some variable. Result equals to, if I say sorted of list, then you are going to have a separate. Just observe. I'm just going to do the same thing. Let me add one cell here. Let's take a same list. Print of LST and print of LST dot, let's say otherwise, LST dot sort, print of LST. Now you're having, it's modified. Okay, so if you see, let me say ID of LST. And here I'm going to say ID of LST. So you're going to have an address is same. Okay, so before original list address is same. And the modified, I mean to say sorted list also is same address. But when you go for sorted list, it's going to be little different. You can see. Let me add one more cell. The same I'm taking here. This one also. Now what I'll do is I'm going to say sorted of LST. This result I'm going to keep in another variable, that is res result. Now let's say print of res comma ID of res. Then address will be different. You got my point, right? Address is a different completely. Because after modifying, after applying sorting, that sorted you have to keep in somewhere, because it is not going to modify the original object. But when you go with this one, list.sort, you are going to modify the existing list. That is the difference between sort, list.sort and sorted of list. Is everyone clear?
Okay, sir, actually in that, right, in sorted dot list, we are keeping one variable to assign that sorted list, right?
Which one? This one you're saying? This
Yeah,
one?
we are keeping res variable to
We are
keep.
assigning one more way. We are taking the result into another variable, because this will not modify the existed one, right? So result will come to here.
Okay. Sorted list, we cannot modify the existing one. That means.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like a display oriented.
Exactly. You're right.
It will not physically change the values inside the variable itself.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so there is a copy. So this one I faced recently when I attempted an interview. Okay, so I have a list dot copy. It is used to create a new list object with copy of the items. So deep copy and swallow copy. So deep copy, what happens if I go for deep copy, and what happens if you go for a shallow copy? We'll see that. So I'm just having a list here, A. So A equals to, I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the list. So when I say B equals to A, that means whatever you're having inside the A, that you're assigning it to the B. So will it create a new object, or will it go for different object?
Obviously, it should create a new object.
New object. So it is going to have a object. Inside the object, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Variable is A. And I'm just having a variable B. So it's not going to create a one more object. It is going to use the same object to have the values. Okay. So that is one thing. So address of this, I wanted to show you here. we'll see that address of A. And let's go for this one. When I say print of A, what values you are going to get? Print of A is what? Same. Same values will be printed. Print of B also same values will be printed. Now, I wanted to add a 5. I wanted to add a 5 to the list. But for B, I wanted to add it. For B, I wanted to add it. Now, it is having same, right? So 5 will be added here. Now, when I print A, will it give a 5? 5 also. And when I print a B, for B, I don't have any problem. For B, I don't have any problem because we are adding B dot append. So B is pointing to the same object. So comma 5, 5 is added here. So when you print A, it is going to print 5 also. Whatever is there here, that will be printed for A and for B also. So address of this is going to be 100% the same. Address will be same for this. We can see the result of this. Let's execute and see. So when it is printed first time, print A comma, print A and print B, it is giving 1, 2, 3, 4 for A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for B, right? Okay, so when I use this print A, you are getting this value and print B is getting this value. And later I added a 5 to the B. Then again I'm printing A and printing B. So 5 is printed for A also, for 5 is printed for B also. Then I try to see what is the address of this. So address of this is same. So this is a deep copy. Whatever you have done in a variable A is going to be done the changes in the B also. Because object is same. Is everyone clear? What do you mean by deep copy?
Sir, is it for the better management of memory usage?
Of course.
New thing.
Okay, so when you go for Java, then you'll be having a separate object ID. And then there is a swallow copy. So swallow copy is always going to create a separate object. Now I'm just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saying 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the variable? You have a. So you are going to have some object ID here, something like 1, 4, 5, 6. I'm just giving address of this. And then I'm keeping all of the data, whatever is there in A, I'm just trying to keep in a B. A dot copy. So A dot copy I'm taking. So previously A equals to, I have given a list and then B equals to A. So this is a deep copy. When you use the operator, assignment operator, then it is a deep copy. So when you have a dot copy function, then it is a swallow copy. So whatever is there inside the A that you are going to keep in a B, as a separate object, it is going to be created. So what happens here is a new object is created. It is going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is having a B. Now you are saying you are trying to add one item to the B. So here it is going to have a 5. 5 is added. Now when you print B, it is going to print this one only. Idea of the B is different. Idea of the B different, like you're going to have something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so A is not going to be affected. You're having a separate one. So swallow, when the moment you say swallow, then it is going to be separate object, you're going to have it. Your original object is not going to be affected. Let's execute it and see the result. You can see. So object is different here. Only for B only it is added. So equal means it is a deep copy, and when the moment you see the copy function, that is a shallow copy, and it is going to be separate object is going to be created. This is what I faced an interview question. So they asked me like they have given a list equals to 10, 20, 30, and let me take something like this, A, and B equals to A, and A of 2 equals to 100, print of A, print of B. So they asked me like what is the value of print of A and print of B? That is one thing. And what type of copy it is? What is the output of this print A and output of print B? That is the expected output they asked me. So can you give me? Can anyone give the answer for this? What is the
100.
10? This is going to, what is the value here?
10, 20, 100, 10, 20, 100. Both are same.
10, 20, 100. And this is also 10, 20, 100. Correct. Because we're updating it with the position. With the index, I'm just giving it. So this is a 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So 2 is going to replace with 100. Now you can see. The same thing they have given something like 20, 30, 40. And B equals to A dot copy. B dot append. So they ask something like this, A of 4 minus 1. So what is the value of A of minus 1? So something like that, they asked me to write a code for this. I mean, what is the output for that? So I have a A. Okay, so this is a 0, 1, 2, 3. And the A is whatever is there inside the A that you are keeping inside the B, separate object, you are going to have it. Now you are appending B. So B is going to add 100 at the end. So they're asking what is the A of minus 1. So A of minus 1 is A of minus 1 is going to be 100.
100.
Okay, so that is one thing. And they may ask a different operations also. So what is the value of A and what is the value of B? So A is remains same. A is not going to be affected.
How come AF minus 1 will be 100? Because we are appending in B, not in A.
No, sorry. This is B. B of minus 1. Okay, so they may ask B of minus 1. If it is a B of minus 1, it is 100. If it is a of minus 1, it is this one. 20, 30, 40. Okay. So you can feel that. Okay, so if it is a equals to B, then it is a deep copy. Okay, if we change here, then changes will be happen here. If we change here, changes will be happen here. But when you go for a shallow copy, then they will be having individuality. Clear? Any question, guys? Okay, so let's stop here because let's go for longer session. Now itself it is very long.
Sir?
Tomorrow is a holiday or?
Tomorrow is just a chit chat session only. It's not going to be a topic that I'm going to discuss. Okay, so we'll just go through what you know. I'm just going to cross verify. Whatever you know, you can talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And,
so we will be having like, you can share the knowledge across the people. We'll just connect for chit chat, not for subject.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
okay, sir. And sir, for that data factory part one, you have provided the material, right?
Mhm.
For part two, is there any material that?
Yeah. Part two, actually, I supposed to prepare. What happened is recently changed a company.
Okay, okay.
So because of that reason, I didn't get a chance to keep even this Python also. So today I'll make sure to both of them, data factory, data flow, as well as
Yes.
this Python note also.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm just waiting for this weekend to set it up. Unfortunately, I I joined in one of my previous organization.
Okay.
Okay, so
Congratulations, sir.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. So because of that reason, I didn't get much time.
Okay, okay, sure, sir.
Okay, then go through this. So definitely this, whatever we discussed Python, that will be helpful because when you go for data engineering, definitely they're going to ask you.
Sir, one question, sir. Actually, we are using that Boolean data types in the list and other places as well, sir. Sir,
Mhm.
exactly where we can showcase it, like where we can add it. If it is like a condition, if condition or other condition, we can give it like this, and we can get it true or false like that. We can approach, right, sir? So
No,
where
not
in
like that. Say
uh,
if you have a data in a table,
uh,
tables also will be having a flags, right?
mm,
So in that case, there is a chances to use this true. So
okay,
bool data type is very important across the place, right? You do not think about that is a list only. So
okay,
think about in a globe. So true, wherever there is a condition, there is a true. Bool data type is required.
okay,
So list is going to allow you to keep the data. I mean, all varieties of the data types you can keep inside that.
okay.
You can keep a tuple also inside a list.
Mm.
List inside a list is possible. And different data types inside a list is possible. Okay, so let's say, for example, you just try to give an answer for that. So I'm having a list here. List is having list equals to 10 comma Bhaskar comma 10.5 comma true. So if I wanted to get this value and I wanted to see the data type of this, then you have to say first you have to bring that part first outside. So this is a 0, this is a 1, 2 and 3. So 1 means it is going to get the Bhaskar. Then this entire thing you can give it to the type. We know about it, right? Type function. Type of LST of 1 is going to give a string data type. Okay, so we may use this in somewhere for doing some activities. And the same way, this one also, there is a chances we cannot predict it where exactly we are going to use. There are chances, but when you compare with others, there is a less chances to use directly. But wherever there is a conditions, you can have it. You can have a bool data type. So bool is also is very important data type. Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So let me stop here and we'll continue this Python on Monday. And tomorrow we are just going to talk about this one is the right data ingestion. We'll see how much you prepared, and I wanted to go with some interview questions. How you people can give the answer if I ask some interview questions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. Thank you. We'll see you on tomorrow.